This video is on Chapter 7 If Practice Statement, If Statement 3 sheet. I'm going to do a few things in the worksheet before I do the if statement. So following the directions, I'm going to insert a column before column F. I select column F, right click, insert. If you select a column, it inserts a column to the left of it. If you select a row, it inserts a row above it. Insert a row above expenses. I select the row 4, right click, insert. Insert a row above net income. I select the net income row, right click, insert, and insert a row above bonus. I select the bonus row, right click, insert. Now I'm going to calculate total expenses in row 10. Easiest way to do it is select the values I want to add up, including the row where the answers will be, and then just hit AutoSum. Calculate net income in row 12. In the net income row, I'm going to subtract total expenses from income. So I click on the cell where the answer is going to be, equals income minus total expenses. There are no absolute addresses. I want this to copy to the next column. It is not equal sum because you are not adding. Get my first formula in, copy it across. So the first formula is equals B3 minus B10 up here. Next one is C3 minus C10, D3 minus D10, E3 minus E10. Format the entire worksheet as commas, no decimals, so I click on Select All, click on Commas. If I don't say how many decimals I want you to leave it as the default. If I say no decimals, then I want you to decrease decimals until no decimals display. That makes high bonus and low bonus show up as zeros because they're actually decimal values and they're below 0.5. So I want to select these two and click on the percent. Now my if statement, make this a little smaller, is going to be in the bonus row, and my if statement is going to be, is net income in row 12 at least, which is greater than or equal to, sales goal in H1. And if it is, multiply net income times high bonus in H2, and if it's not, multiply net income times low bonus in H2. It's easier if you write this out like I have in the direction, because then it's all written out in separate boxes and you can just copy the information into the wizard. So I click on the cell where the answer is going to be, click on FX, category is logical, function is if, logical test is net income at least greater than or equal to sales goal. Now, if you know this is going to be an absolute address, you can make it an absolute address while you're creating the formula. So while I have my cursor on H1, I can hit F4. Or I could type in $H$1. Click on the next box. If it is at least H1, I'm going to multiply net income times high bonus. If I know this is going to be an absolute address, I can make it an absolute address right now. And if it's not true, I multiply net income times low bonus, and low bonus is an absolute address. So if you're not sure which ones are absolute addresses, just create the formula, what is the question, what is the true, what is the false, copy it across, and then go back to your original formula and decide which cells should not move. But if you know which cells should be absolute before you start creating the formula, by all means, make them absolute in the formula. So this says, is B12 at least H1? If it is, multiply B12, net income, times H2, high bonus. And if it's not, multiply B12, net income, times low bonus, which is H3. And I'm going to copy this across. And all my answers are correct because I already made these absolute. So the syntax is equals if parentheses. What is the question? Question is B12 net income at least H1 sales goal, comma, if it's true, multiply B12 net income times high bonus in H2, and if it's not, else, multiply B12 net income times low bonus in H3. You could also just type this out if you wanted to type it out. So then my first formula is if B12 is at least H1, if I go one cell to the right, is C12, so it copies to the next column, picks up the next cell address, at least H1, because H1 is absolute, it doesn't move. Next cell is D12, at least H1. Next cell is E12, at least H1. So as you copy the formula over, you want to compare net income for B to this information, net income for C, to this information, net income for D, to this information, etc. And that is a very common formula.